Hi, I'm Piyush. I worked in CISCO as a software engineer for around 2 years.
So Piyush, tell us the different stages that you went through during your recruitment process at CISCO.
Okay, so CISCO visited our college initially in the days, like some 10 to 15 companies visited before this. So the recruitment process started with the first round being the aptitude, as most of the companies take. So the first round basically consisted of questions based on your general aptitude, then going to your some coding skills. Apart from that, they tested some of the hardware questions that was a little difficult for a person coming from an IT or sales background. But few of the other people who were from EC or electrical, they were very comfortable with that. So just after the aptitude, we went on for the pre-placement talk, and during that time, these people just corrected our papers. And by the end of that, the result was announced, and we got selected. Around 38 people were being shortlisted based on a total number of people who were close to 200 to 300. And then we started with the first round. So initially, the interview process basically consisted of rounds which will be focusing on your operating system, data structures, and third will be directly your HR round. So based on which interview panel you're going for your first round, they'll be asking. So for my experience, I went ahead with the operating system first. So the interview was very much into asking and checking my memory management concepts, because CISCO as a company, they build most of the operating system which runs their OS, like the router and switches which it works on. So currently they were asking mostly how do you manage the memory in a limited piece of device, so memory management skills. Apart from that, they went on asking into some networking questions, but you don't have to worry about the networking questions because at college level we don't know much about networking, and you can directly go and tell the interviewer, boss, these are the set of networking concepts which are being taught in our college. So the same thing happened with me. I just frankly told him, boss, these are the set of concepts which we know. He just directed his question from the range of topics which I was knowing, and he was very helpful in that. And then I answered those questions, and at the end of that, the first round was almost over. So one quick tip for you people is, you should be ready with some good question that you should be asking at the end of the interview. You should not be blank at a point when the interviewer tells us, like, okay, tell me something that you want to ask about the company or anything like that. So you should be prepared with that question once you go for a company's interview. So you can ask something like that based on one or two wrong questions which I just gave you the answer. How do you judge throughout my life or throughout my career in CISCO, I'll be doing all the wrong things? So this was a very interesting question in which we just went on for a discussion of around 15 to 20 minutes after my interview. So after this, the first round was clear, and then we went ahead for the second round. So second round was basically more of data structures, your coding, and your C basic skills and all what you know. So one of the basic questions which they asked was, given a linked list, you have to find the third element from the back. So this was a question which I already knew in one of my Microsoft interview. So I just went ahead and told the interview boss, can you please change the question, because this is the question which I already have done and I know the answer. So he was like, he thought I was playing a bluff. So he was into like, okay, tell me the answer. I told him the best possible algorithm for this. You just know, like, you can have 2 pointers and then you can go ahead with them. By the time the first reaches at the end, the previous one will be at the third node from the back. So it's a very obvious and very famous question, so you can directly do that. Apart from that, he tested few of my pointers skills in C. We went ahead and coding few of the pointer questions, and then basic implementation of how do you write a tree and all these things in C. But just on pen and paper, you don't need to worry about the exact syntax or anything. Just be aware of the boundary conditions, because they could be sometimes very much specific about, okay, what is the case that you're missing in this particular code, please. So this is more of the second round which happened. And the third round, after you've cleared these two, is just like an obvious third round will be like, you have to have a discussion with the HR. But one of the key things which you should focus about that is you should be confident at that time. Because since you have cleared the first two rounds, you should have the confidence that, okay, now I have to go and tell the HR that I am coming for the company, and not the HR should take the decision, okay, should I take this person or not. So what I did was, I went ahead in the room with the confidence, asking the HR, okay, when is the joining time? What is the thing that I'll be working on, rather than just sitting in front of the HR and waiting for him to ask the question. So you should turn the table around, because you've cleared the 2 rounds. You should be confident at that time. And then show, okay boss, tell me, what is all the things that you're expecting from me? What should be my skill set by the time I join? And if you need some specific network certifications, I can go ahead and get that done before I join Cisco. So these are few of the important questions that you should ask the HR at that time and show your confidence. Okay, boss, I am ready to come and ready to learn whatever you people are waiting for me. That's it. So best of luck for your interviews. Thank you.
Piyush, tell us how the recruitment process of Cisco is different from other companies.
Okay, so Cisco, as you know, it's a very big company and many people get scared of before the interview, like, okay, these people will be asking more of the networking concepts since they are in that domain. But there's nothing like that. Just be focused, be confident on your basic things: OS, data structure, aptitude. These people are not going to test anything beyond, like most of the companies, they go and drill down into the data structure thing or the OS thing. They'll just check whether you know your basics right or not. Apart from that, they just look for a person who is very much confident and is ready to learn whatever is given to him at that point of time. Because fresh out of college, we people are just like a fresh slate. These companies will drive us in whichever way they want, and you should be ready to take up that challenge. That's it.
So, are there any particular areas of strength that Cisco looks for in candidates?
So Cisco basically being a company which is working in networking. So definitely if you're having some good knowledge in networking or some certification like CCNA or CCNP or anything in that level, it's tough to get them in college, but if you're having that, that's definitely a plus point for you in the interviews to showcase. Apart from that, one of the main thing which all the companies will look, and I think Cisco also looks most probably for that, is the confidence of the candidate. The candidate should be in a position because Cisco being a big firm, you don't know where you'll land at what point at the time when you join the company. So you should be just confident enough that once I join, whichever is the kind of work I'm given, I'll be doing that. So that is one thing which I think Cisco will be looking for during the interview, that this person is ready to take up the challenge, whichever is given to him the time when he joins. So this is one thing. So go ahead with the attitude, okay, I'm ready to take up anything.
What are the number of offers that Cisco finally extended at your campus?
Okay, so after the first round, Cisco took around 38 people. After a day of drill down, the offers were close to 7. The distribution was around 4 people from IT, 2 people from CS, 1 person from CS, and 2 people from AC.
Piyush, please offer to our viewers some tips that you would give aspirants who are looking to enter Cisco to ace the Cisco process.
Okay, so Cisco is basically a company where if you have done something good in networking, it's famous for networking, but people generally don't know that Cisco does a lot of things outside networking. So you don't have to worry about if you've not done much in networking, because there are multiple areas, multiple BUs and business units inside Cisco which work outside networking. So there's a lot of data structure, operating system, and all these cool concepts which are needed in Cisco also. If you are thorough and very much confident with these, it's good enough for you to crack a Cisco interview. Plus, if you're having some projects or some certifications in networking, that's definitely a plus point for you, and that's definitely going to stand out in your interview process. So let's see what you do. Thank you. Best of luck.